So in comics, you have the man, the king, Big John, our pal, all these nicknames. And that trend kind of seemed to be dying, but then there was one I feel like one squeaked out. Well deserved, fits the man perfectly, and that would be the dude. I know what you're thinking. The dude abides, different dude. That would be talking about Steve Root today in Nexus. I'm not gonna lie, this is a weird one. I'm excited to get into this, but also this is a weird one. So let's go into it. Okay, so I've never read Nexus, always heard about it, and I got it for Steve Root art, 100%. Like, it's the kind of thing. If I enjoy the writing, but it's like I'm mainly here because of Steve Root. Is he like the best storyteller? No, but he's one of the best pencilers. He's got a unique style, and this is kind of odd because you look at this and you expect like ice cream sandwich, like oh, happy, fun space adventures. Then you read it and it's like it feels like I'm expecting an ice cream sandwich, but then I bite into a cheeseburger. And it's not that it's like gross or disgusting, it's just like not what I was expecting from the imagery, the colors. The other thing is, and I don't want to, I do enjoy this, I don't want to seem negative, but it's like they didn't, and I'll point them out when I see some of them. They did not point, there's no art restoration or correction in this. So they were wrong in the 80s. They were wrong here because, like, actually, this is where I first began to notice that there, and it's like, and it's hard to see, but there's some of this where it's like, let's see if I can. We'll find another panel. There's slight miscolors, like the color didn't quite match up. Like I said, I think this made sense. This did not. Like that text box, ugh. But it's like as it went on, I just kind of noticed this, and I don't know. It's one of these things. The other thing you quickly notice, like there's no back material. There is nothing. And this feels like a book put together by a writer. And yeah, it's like you got this last issue, a little bit of interview, afterwards, acknowledgments, the next cover. Like, and this is a visual medium. So let's kind of go. I'm not going to go through all of this. There are parts I want to go through. Um, so the other weird thing about this, and I'm going to say this from my point, like, I have a comic. You all know Banging the Ballad Tiger, joshgreathouse.com for 16 chapters. But the other reason I bring this up, so in Bang, I have, I have heroes and villains. There are more important things than living correct, General. There are more important things than living correct, General. That was a line, I forget who it was. That was a line I took from a congressman when they were talking about COVID. That was a legit 100% line. So I do think I use politics in my comics and work. I do think, I don't think every comics has politics in it, but I think every good story has politics in it. But what gets me is you gotta add a little bit of sugar. And it's just weird because it's like they go straight the iconography, but it's also like, okay, like there's the Soviet Union in this book. It takes place 500 years like in the future, and we still got the Reds, and they even just called them like the Reds and the Communists. And yeah, throughout this, it's like you got this great Steve Rudar. Like, I mean, this is just such a great sequence. Him walking out, and it's just kind of weird too. It's like I acted in self-defense. Like, what does that mean? So there's some hooks to this, but it just feels like I said, straight up like, oh man, this is just straight up Nazi Germany with ape type creatures. So like some of it just doesn't mix well, where it's just kind of like I know where you're going, but it feels like he doesn't take the time to like set something up, or there's no metaphors or analogies. It's literally just like blah. And yeah, it feels like that at times. So I know I'm going to get some heat for this because it's like this is a beloved, it's done well. It's a beloved series, and I won't lie. Like these first, the black and white, they're well done, but it's like they feel they're not great. It just kind of like it feels like a comic. Like okay, like art is superb, but it just there's something about it that's just kind of like, and like I said, the art, character designs, Steve Root, like that's why you're here. And then all of a sudden, it's hard to explain. It just kind of start as you keep going, it starts opening up a little bit more, a little bit more. This one was weird. Like I enjoyed this. This was the back matter to Nexus, the character Horatio Hubbard, or I forget his dad, like his family's name. Basically, his dad's a general who saved the planet and then had to commit mass murder, as you do, and then like went into exile, and they found this planet. And in this planet, like also the little nods to like because like the Jungle Book, there's a little like I said, the Steve Rude art can't beat, but it's just so like his mom goes wandering away into the like this whole planet's just them on there. His mom wanders and just like starves alone. But literally it's like four panels. And it's like it just feels like give me a little bit like if you want me to care, this should be a bigger moment. Like, this should be like they didn't discover for years. I don't know, like give me time for this to play out, not just boom. And where was it? He was reading. Here it is. So he's like, it's basically him and his father, and then these two are his imaginary friends. And he talks about reading like Steamboat. It's like with oh my gosh, with Huckleberry Finn, and literally he's like reading different books, and then there's this one. Communist is glorious, my son. Glorious, Dad. You okay? But it's kind of like, dude, like I know what you. It just feels lazy. So I guess I'll be there. Like I'll just be honest. So this is when he first starts having the dreams. Basically, he gets a vision. He has to kill who's ever in the vision to get some peace. And I mean, look, just like I said, and I love to. I do this all the time. You put stuff in the foreground, like make it look like you're peering through. So good. So like the story's not that great, but man, the art. This was a fun moment, and this was a good. I guess this is what gets me because it's like okay, literally, it's like oh, communism's bad. So this guy like has powers just like Nexus, and it's like where's he getting all these powers from? And this is such a great panel because it's showing both of them fighting and just like, but what it is they kidnap all these different creatures, like take off their heads, force them to like basically use like a psychic kind of energy, and then like sell their bodies off to be slaves. But it's like this is a great metaphor for like abusing power, working people, treating people as objects. Add a little bit of sci-fi. It's like, yes, give me something where it's like, oh, okay, I make me think a little bit. Where you're just like, communism is glorious. It's like, oh, okay. So, and the other thing with Nexus, it is a sprawling. There are a lot of characters in Nexus, like a lot. So yeah, you got the heads here, start floating around. And Nexus, like he's on this. It's weird. His Fortress of Solitude is this whole planet, and everyone like ends up kind of going there too. It gets into some geopolitical. And man, this I love this one though. Like the reflection here, just a great way to show a panel, especially kind of almost showing the like indifference. Like they're clearly not on the same level of an argument. And crazy character designs, like so many characters. Also, I don't know why this feels so 80s. It was like the mohawk, the eagle. It's like, come on. And it's weird because it wants to be a very adult, serious book, but it's kind of lacking something. Like it kind of fights itself, where it's like it wants to be like high energy, high adventure. It wants to be like very in depth spy thriller. It just kind of misses the marks on all of these. So yeah, and like I said, his son. This is he comes back missing a head. His body's here, and it's like yeah, you get some great sci-fi like body horror. And this I love too, like these double page spreads of a cover, like great to see. And this was fun too because this guy just feels sleazy beyond all like both of these characters, and you kind of get an idea who they are without even like having to read. And this is something like I want more people to enjoy. Like I want people to enjoy the Steve Rude. The problem is this is also where it's kind of weird, and I found this out after like paying for this. Steve Rude doesn't like him and Steve Rude took the character. Mike Barrett took the character. Mike said he paid Steve like a compensation for this, but it's like it kind of feels like Mike got probably all of it. So part of me's like, I don't know if I want to continue on with this. Also, another great like horror moment, like it's him connecting with the heads, trying to find his son's head, especially for like 1980s art. Oh, and great way to show a punch. Even there, like I don't even think these panels were needed, but just and what's interesting is they look like decorations of wall art, but it's a nice touch because literally, like, boom. So, like I said, the art, stellar. And it's hard with a big book like this because in some ways, I want to go through everything. And yeah, he does this too, which it was popular at the times, like more rendered drawings for like the serious moments. Also, too, okay, this is just a slight thing, Steve Root. The character design, so too, like sometimes with the hair, like he can draw gorgeous classic women, but then it's like you have no style, my man. So and stuff like like stuff kind of happens to the characters. And like I said, I'm not gonna go through all of this, but let's. Oh, this one I thought was great too because it's like they don't show the dreams. This was a great issue. One great way to do like a dream or a flashback, like just kind of showing it differently. So he has to get in the tank, and then he has to go and he has to execute someone so he can like live a life. And he goes to this planet that's like mostly barren except for the ziggurat. And there's like basically they don't have the heads, but what they do have are the sun. So they're slowly destroying the sun. And it's like it's such a nice touch here. Just the littlest things, but yeah. And it comes down onto him. Turns out it is being powered by heads, like everything is. And what's interesting though is you have this woman who she's trying to repent for a life. Like she caused a lot of pain in her past, and she recognizes it. So it's this moment of like, how do It's her trying to like amends, but how do you amend that much, like that much damage? Also, it's weird seeing him. Like I don't think they ever do that. They never do that again in this volume. But yeah, you got like, cause it's like he looks stern, but he's not. But amazing, like that's just such a great panels. And she literally just wanders off to the sunset, and it's great, great quiet moment. Ugh. So he frees the heads. Then where is this? This one, like, I won't lie, this character started off like annoying me, but then he grew on me, and especially with this issue. So he's bored and he's literally like, I want something to do. So he convinced Nexus, like, hey, let's go out drinking on the town. I'm surprised like Nexus agrees to it. So we get to see a little bit more of the universe. This character, we'll get back to that gator. Um, they go to a show, mayhem ensues, as you do. They get in a fight. Like everyone knows who Nexus is. So when he comes out of the costume, it's like, oh, we don't want to deal with the executioner. So they get off planet, Well, our boy's been drinking, miscalculates the black hole and gets stuck. Classic kind of space, like, especially like this moment of like, we're floating endlessly, all of a sudden, we're like, on the edge of a giant bowl, like on a giant wall. And just the ship design, the art, it's like, yes, this is, and we started getting these little side stories. So we get this one with this like hair, and they're not bad, but they're in the, like a fake Twinkie ad. This one I actually enjoyed. Like that was a nice touch. This issue, I really enjoyed this issue. Like literally, the ship is just scraping against this wall, and it's them like calculating, like, okay, we got to get through here X amount. Cool design, like cool ship design, space designs. It took me a second to understand like what how this was working. This like, and also the way he does silhouettes here, just perfect. And it's also kind of weird because they try to set up like this mystery. I don't know. It just doesn't. Eh. And here's the thing. This right here, I don't know. This feels like it's on purpose. It's hard to tell if it's like actually done this way or if it's like a miss calculation or like an error. Because like I said, there's no color restoration because like a little bit of color is missing there. So basically, their ship is slowly just scraping to nothing, and it picks up speed, and they end up in this like fantastical world. And it's a classic like Lost in Space. They have a team up with the Badger, who I didn't know this at the time was another Baron villain. It's like Mike Baron creation. It's like makes sense. So it's them. Yeah, it's, and like I said, it's, you're gonna hear this a lot. Great character design, great figure work, great leading the eye. Especially like, what a great way to do panel structure, especially for a talking head scene. And just some fun. I don't know. It's hard to say because it's fun, classic like sci-fi moments, and they don't last. I think that's the thing that kind of gets me. It's also kind of weird. Like I don't know who the Badger is. So this one was a weird story. Also, this is kind of odd. Like he loves the sword. They take the sword, so you're like, ah, it's going to be MacGuffin. Never comes up again. And like I said, great panel. Like in some ways, I don't even think you need these like panel layouts. Like I think you could have just done it as that. Yeah, they do it here. Oh man, I didn't realize they kind of mimicked. Oh, that's brilliant. Ah, Steve, that is brilliant. Because yeah, this is the kind of thing you read a couple, you move on, you read a couple, and even like the coloring, like it's 80s simple, but it works so well. So there's different trials and tribulations. Like our heroes are trying to get through this wasteland. There's also like the will of the mind, the temptation, and it ends like in a very Star Trekky kind of way, not in a bad way. It's like okay, and you kind of recognize like there is some Star Trek, there's some this and that. Like this one was, oh man, like one. It's hard to explain. I wish we got more of this kind of page with like this painted background space and then like them kind of clip art. I felt like this page felt like what the Space Ghost comic, like what he did for the Space Ghost comic. Like he goes after this kid, who I guess has killed enough people that the dream is like you need to kill this kid. And it's like I said, it's just a weird. It's it just feels weird because it's like him hunting down a child while you have like a talking clone gator who makes jokes, like as a lounge lizard kind of thing. This one I like that, like, so basically his beam can't hurt anyone innocent; it can only hurt the guilty. He kills this kid, but this like, especially this right here, like great panels. Now we have like, and this I thought was a smart choice. It's like let's use this as a way to tell like some backstories from other characters. Brilliant, perfect. They then get stuck on the lounge lizard, like that gator guy. Like just whoever enjoyed writing him, I'm like, Mike Baron enjoyed writing him, and I'm like, okay. So who is this for? I guess that's the first question. If you enjoy sci-fi, if you enjoy like political intrigue, um, harder hitting comics. But you don't like, you know what it is? If you want all these topics, but you don't want them to be rated R, like this is a solid like PG-13. Like it goes into those topics, but it doesn't. And that's maybe why it feels so kind of odd. That might be it. Because it's like, okay, we want to talk about genocide. We want to talk about like mass murders, the worst of the worst. But, we want to keep it in a friendly, anyone can digest it kind of moment. Great character designs by um, Steve Rude. Like, even the, like, just classic moments. But like I said, you get like a lot of this Gator. And I don't know, like, part of me, like, he literally visits the Soviet Union world. Like I said, great alien moose. It's like cool. Give me. It's just weird seeing this iconography of like the red star. It's like the Reds. But anyway, I here's my other. This is also kind of weird too. Like, so this girl and I know I've been jumping around. I'm trying to go into all the stories. There's like a lot of characters. She is like Nexus's main love. They're on the rocks right now, as you do. Um, and it's set up like it almost feels like people in this world have affairs if they do space travel, where it's like, we're out in the middle of nowhere, no one will know. So she has like an affair with this Catwoman. The Catwoman like flirts with her. She gets upset and just like violently attacks her because our boy Nexus here has let himself go. And it's just weird moments like that where it's like it doesn't connect. It doesn't feel like it goes anywhere. It's like, okay, we introduce this drama and then we kind of forget about it. And yeah, even this, like Nexus, he gets a chip implanted in him, so he no longer has the visions. So he's now just become lazy because he no longer has to deal with the dreams or the consequences of being Nexus. Great story idea. All of a sudden, the story just all of a sudden goes like, we're gonna reintroduce these characters, force you back into the tank, and it just feels like okay. It feels like you just kind of go, okay, like just accept it and move on. But my only other fear, like I got this on an early backer. It was like 89 something, 20. It's like I think I paid like 150 including or 115 including shipping on this. And it's not bad. Like I'm very grateful I get to read like and I can see why this series went so long. Especially, I mean, the Steve Root art is why you come here. I mean, like, whew, ship designs, like you can clearly tell he's got a huge Hanna-Barbera flair. It just feels like the drama's kind of missing the mark. And it almost feels like there's not enough time and energy for some of these mysteries. And like I said, this gator, like every story now ends with a mini story of this gator, and it's like, man, we could have used that page. And I get like Steve Root can't draw everything, but it's like you could have fleshed out so many more ideas, like concepts, but it's like, nah. So this kind of ends on a big galactic battle Yemen or Yemen. I forget how they tell you how to pronounce it. And like I said, Clone Zone. It's like great Steve Root art. The art isn't bad in here, but it just feels this feels like he was trying to make it a thing. I don't know. It just yeah, it's like we go from this, and that's uh, I don't know. Like I would read. Oh, this. Okay, wait a minute. This got me. This one. This feels weird. I don't like being here. I hope Omar never sees this. So this was an issue. Steve Rudin needed to take a break. 100% like tons of work for one dude. Makes sense. This takes place. Where are you? Yeah, this storyline takes place like in this part. So, and it's like if you're doing a collection like this, just put it where it's supposed to be. Like put it where it's supposed to be in a reading order. Because usually I'm 100% for like publication. This time around, it's like this felt weird because I had to remind myself. I'm like, oh right, they're back here. So just like I said, weird choices were made. Great art, phenomenal art, especially yeah, like so yeah, it wasn't cheap. You know what it is? The price wasn't cheap, but the execution, like it mimics and feels like a Marvel book, but it also just I don't know, it just doesn't scratch that itch. So it's kind of like, how much more of this do I want? And it's kind of like I said, it's kind of weird because like he kills this general. Basically, like they're doing the scientific test that killed a bunch of people. So like everyone involved is going to get knocked out by Nexus. Which the guy accepts his fate. He has $3. This was a great way of showing that, like, farewell to the family. The girls don't understand what's going on. They make a vow to go after Nexus, and it just feels like how it just feels like one of those like, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah we're going, yeah, by the numbers. This one, this one, I'm glad this was in here. Um, this guy just loves to kill. He's kind of like the anti-Nexus. Like he enjoys killing for the sake of killing. But it's like I've seen this design before. This felt like classic, like it almost felt like, hey, Steve Rude, like this felt like Steve Rude being like, I wanted like this is the kind of story I want. And it's like, okay. Was it perfect? No, but it was fun. And that's the thing, like a guy who's an executioner who kills, you get these weird like I feel like I'm describing everything that Nexus isn't, but so because the other thing that kind of gets me a little worried about this ribbon, and it looks and feels like a Marvel book, but they got a price point of 150. It's like I can't recommend this for 150. 100, sure. And it's like it's okay writing, it's phenomenal art, and yeah, and I think that's how I stand. Like if you're a huge Mike Baron fan, I cool, and I hope this was like every great moment for you. Just it missed the mark for me, and like I said, this mimics like a Marvel Omni so much. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if I'll get the rest of them. I definitely want more Steve Rude art because he does phenomenal figure work. Like I almost knew it's like there's a good chance I can flip to one of these pages and it's Steve Rude, like just pulling the weight. And yeah, there were a ton of like there's a ton of moments in here that I'm just like it's well done art. Also the colors, like that wasn't Steve Rude, but man, great coloring. So I don't know, it's one of these things. It's like you want to enjoy it. It just kind of Also, man, woof, doing this kind of layout never easy. So yeah, like I said, I can easily take a page out of like almost any part of this book and just like praise it. It's not all perfect, it doesn't all work, but when it works so well. And then we get Clone Zone. Like I said, it's a weird, just I don't know. It's just a weird combination of things. So yeah, I need more Steve Rude. I don't know if I need more Nexus. So it's kind of a weird feeling there. So anyway, thanks for letting me ramble and have a good one.